It's great to it's great to see everyone tonight. I'm so excited to have you on this call. My name's Elizabeth Garrett, and I'm a Juice Plus rep, and excited to share about how we can build our immune systems. And there are just some real basic ways to build our immune systems, just to make that one simple change that'll make a difference in your life. I love some of these, and they include like laughter. Did you know that laughing more will help boost your immune system, and drinking plenty of water, and sleeping, getting a good 8 hours of sleep every night? And then also trying to reduce stress in your life will help maintain a healthy immune system. So there's all kinds of ways that we can do that, in addition to some things that we're going to learn tonight from Dr. Odom. But just a personal story I'd like to share with you about how I added fruits and vegetables and berries through our Juice Plus products into my body, and started flooding my body with 30 fruits and vegetables every day. And last year, back in May of 2020, my mother, who was very elderly, she was 87, had a very weakened immune system, had struggled for probably 10 years with her immune system. And finally, she had gone to a nursing home and had gotten COVID. And without us knowing it, we didn't know she had COVID when we brought her home. So we brought her home, and I cared for her for those 2 weeks before she passed away. And of course, I was right there on top of her day in and day out, as was my neighbor across the street. And we were the only two, in addition to the home healthcare nurse that was allocated to her, who could be with her because she did have COVID. And I flooded my body by doubling up on the fruits and vegetables and berry blend, and then gave some to the neighbor across the street who was helping me. And neither one of us came down with anything, not even a cold or anything. So I know that I'm just tickled at how strong my immune system was, very confident that by taking the Juice Plus product, that it gives me that support that I need. So can't wait to share more with you. And I'd like to introduce Angel Falk, who's the fitness angel. And she's going to share a little bit about her story with us, and then she's going to show us a video.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you guys for being on. And if you ever have any questions, you can put them in the chat box, or just hold them at the end. We'll do a question. But I was introduced to Juice Plus in 2012. I had a brain tumor on my brainstem. So in 2000, George, you might have the TV on or something. And if you can't find the mute button, just turn that off. Maybe that's what that noise is. Y'all, it's George's first time, so we won't be too hard on him. But we've all been there. But after having a 14-hour brain surgery, I had to relearn to walk, talk, swallow everything again. And it was very hard, of course, you could imagine. And a year later, when I went for my checkup, it had grown more. So that's when I had radiation and got very, very sick, and was really, that's how my health journey started. Because before that, I was a fitness instructor. I was very fit, always working out, exercising. But it wasn't until the brain tumor when I realized that nutrition must play a part in your health. And all the research I found said that fruits and vegetables were the answer. That is one thing every doctor could agree on. We need lots of fruits and vegetables. So of course I tried to eat more, but you know, you just don't know what you don't know. I was still giving my kids hot dogs and mac and cheese every day, and, you know, wondering why they were sick all the time. And then of course I drank Diet Cokes and just wanted to eat low calorie food. I didn't care what it was. I just didn't want the calories. But now I know that we should be looking at chemicals, not calories, and staying away from all the processed junk. So that was my beginning of my health journey. And I met a very sweet nurse at Vanderbilt University. She was at the hospital. It is a university and there's a hospital, but she was there, and she is the one that told me about Juice Plus. She said, Angel, this is fruits and vegetables in a capsule. It's not a vitamin. Because my husband is a pharmacist, we had lots of vitamins, and it was a new concept, but I understood. She took me to an event. I heard a doctor talk about it and how much it helped children specifically. And that was my number one concern, really. If you're a mom, you'll do anything for your kids. So I signed up right away, got started. Thank God my health has improved every day since. And that's why I love Juice Plus so much. And just helping people on their health journey, because you can't just start changing everything. It's one simple change, and starting Juice Plus was that one thing that really helped me. I could stick to, I was consistent. And then that led to more changes. So it doesn't happen overnight for anybody out there who's looking to get healthier. It's one step at a time. So I will show a short video so you'll understand what Juice Plus is, and then we'll have Dr. Odom talk. Let me get to this video and make it bigger here. We have a whole library of great resources, but this is just a short video to show you what Juice Plus is and how it's made.
We all know how important it is to maintain a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. But for many of us, getting the nutrition we need is harder than ever. That's why we created Juice Plus. Juice Plus is whole food nutrition made from fruits, vegetables, seeds, and other plant-based ingredients. It helps you bridge the gap between what you should eat and what you do eat. Juice Plus makes healthy living easier and jumpstarts your journey to better health so you can get more out of life. Our 4 capsule blends are packed with whole food nutrition from over 33 plant-based ingredients, conveniently packaged and chosen to be as close to nature as possible. They're also vegan and gluten-free, designed for any lifestyle. Our fruit blend gives you the variety of a farmer's market with just one quick addition to your daily routine. Our vegetable blend helps you feel confident that you're giving your body the nutrition it needs. Our berry blend is always in season, giving you the boost you need from a variety of berries and other plant-based ingredients any time of year. And our vegan omega blend rounds out your routine with 5 plant-based omega fatty acids that skips the fish and goes straight to the algae for the true source of omega-3. When taken together, our blends can conveniently help build a solid nutritional foundation for a healthier lifestyle. How do we pack all these nutrients into convenient-to-use capsules? Our Juice Plus products start where all great nutrition begins, fresh on the farm. Our fruit, vegetables, berries, seeds, and algae are all sourced with great pride under the highest standards in order to provide the finest quality plant ingredients. Our unique farm-to-capsule processes bring that goodness into our Juice Plus blends while protecting those valuable nutrients inside. Our strict quality control measures deliver great whole food nutrition in our convenient capsules. And Juice Plus has supported independent clinical research by leading academic experts for more than 25 years, which leads to the enormous peace of mind packed in our capsules. Let's face it, it's hard to get enough of the good stuff. With Juice Plus, the journey to a healthier lifestyle doesn't have to be complicated, and we help you keep it simple. When you add Juice Plus to your routine, you get more of the nutrition you need so you can get more out of life. Let the good from within inspire a new you. Jumpstart your journey to better health today with Juice Plus.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Everybody wants to be healthy, and this just makes it simple. It's a simple solution. But tonight, I'm very happy to introduce you guys to my dear friend, Dr. Doug Odom. He has been with our company for 24 years. He is an OBGYN retired, did that for 45 years and delivered over 17,000 babies. So he knows women's health and health overall. And now he travels the world teaching nutrition, specifically whole food, plant-based nutrition that heals our body, because we all believe in that. So thank you so much for being here, Dr. Odom. And we are excited to learn more about the immune system.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Angel, and thank you, Elizabeth and Randy, for putting this talk together. And I'm thrilled to be with you. I'm going to do something a little different. I normally talk way too long. I'm going to try to keep my comments down to 15, 20 minutes. And but I do have a lot to share. But the basic information, you've heard it. You've heard it from Angel, you heard it from Elizabeth, you heard it from Brandy, and you heard it on that video. And we get to choose every day whether we want to be healthy or not. And we can deny it, we can make excuses, but we get to choose. And you were mentioning things about what we can do to normalize our immune system, to make it robust, and to increase its functionality. And you mentioned it's what we think, smiling, our attitude, hydration, getting enough rest, moving, maybe even exercise. Meditation is another thing. But what we don't really focus enough on is what is so connected to whether our immune system is robust or not. So we don't have to make it robust. If we just lived a life, a healthy life, if we just made better choices, we would have a very healthy immune system. It's the things that we do, and Angel, you talk about this a lot, the toxins and toxicity that's in our life, we get to choose. It's a bad choice, but we get to choose these things. And it was those things that you were doing before that we've all done, drinking sodas, looking at calories and trying to limit calories and not really focus on the quality of food. Studies today all over the world are saying without a doubt that plant food and ingredients in plant food are directly related to how healthy our immune system is. It's as simple as that. So rather than breaking down the micronutrition and talking about this particular one or this particular group of micronutrition, they're all important. But what we're finding now, we didn't know 2 decades ago. We hardly knew 1 decade ago. And that is the significant relationship between what's going on in our entire body, but specifically our intestinal tract, and how it relates to a healthy immune system. So there are hundreds, literally thousands of studies that say this: the more plant food that we eat, the more variety, the more consistent, the more dense, all of these affect how healthy our immune system is. Well, why is that? Why is plant food so connected to our immune system? And if we're not eating plant food in the amounts that are required for optimal health, if we're not doing that, it's little wonder that our immune system is weak. And but we do know this. We're hosting trillions of bacteria, and the enteric microbiome is a genetic material of all these bacteria. And we're talking about 10 times the number of human cells. That's how many bacteria that we're hosting. And we know that, we've known that, but we really never put together the significance of the balance between healthy and unhealthy, or beneficial and non-beneficial. We used to call them the good and bad bacteria. But now we know that there are certain bacteria and certain strains and certain species of bacteria that if they're predominating, that we have extreme health. Our immune system is robust and it is approaching homeostasis. It means sense of order. It means everything in the body, especially the immunity, is balanced. And it's directly related, again, to the balance of these bacteria. And what we know today is that the standard American diet, and that's eating for taste and pleasure, that's eating lots of processed, that's eating sugar, artificial food, processed food, lots of gluten, lots of dairy. We know that all of these foods are extremely inflammatory, and we should be consuming foods that are anti-inflammatory, foods that reduce inflammation. The more inflammation, the more our immune system suffers. So if we could eat more plant food, so how much should we eat? What are experts saying? How many servings of plant food are recommended today? I'm going to ask you to unmute. I'm going to then make this interactive for 1 minute. Lisa, give me an idea, if you would, of what you think is the recommendation for servings of plant food, complex carbohydrates.
We didn't tell her she was going to take a test.
Oh, I'm just asking her opinion. So you don't have to if you don't have to unmute, but I'd like for you to. But Lindsay, how about you?
Per day?
Yes, per day.
It's like, isn't it like 2 or 3 servings of fruit and the same for vegetables?
Okay, well, this is back in the early 90s. It was
Close.
at least 2. Good for you, and thank you for participating.
Sure.
It was at least 2 fruit and at least 3 vegetables. And so out of that came the 5-a-day campaign. And that's all day, that's not per meal. But what is really recommended today is to do that with each meal. So Angel, are you waving or you want the floor?
I'm waving because Lisa was frozen earlier and then she got off and got back on. So
Okay,
Mhm.
so you want to give that a stab, Lisa?
I
But
don't know
you're
if she
muted.
heard you. Oh, you're muted.
You'll have to unmute.
Repeat the question. Sorry, I crashed out and it went on, I went away, so,
No problem. Thank you for coming back on.
oh no.
Yep. The question is, how many servings of fruits or vegetables, either one or the other, or complex carbs? That's berries, that's seeds, beans, nuts. These are healthy foods. Some people call them superfoods. How many servings of superfoods should we be eating every day to achieve optimal health?
I'm thinking like the, what is it, the US, the RDA, I think it's like 5 maybe or 6, but I'm sure that's not, what we think, what we really should be.
What
but
Lindsay
that's what-
said, yeah.
That's what's
All
in
right.
my head, that they would say like 5 servings a day or
Well,
something.
that is exactly correct. That is what was recommended 30 years ago.
Mhm.
So the recommendations today are much more because lots of reasons, but we realize fiber and phytonutrients are what we need to be consuming. And where are we going to find those? We're going to find those in plant foods, primarily fruits and vegetables, but other sources as well. So literally what is recommended today is to eat that 5 servings per meal. And if we're eating 3 meals, that would be 15 servings. And very few people are doing that, but there is tremendous improvement in our overall health, but especially the immune system when we do that. So if you can eat 5 or 6, let's just say 7. Let's say you could eat 7 servings of plant food. And then if you could add Juice Plus on top of that, from an antioxidant standpoint, you would be getting somewhere between 12 and 16 servings of plant food, which is what's equated with what's recommended for optimal health today. And that's doing that every day and every day. It's that consistent intake that is what is reflecting your overall health. We didn't know this when I was in medical school, and that was over 50 years ago, if you can believe that. We didn't know this 30 years ago. We didn't know it 20-something years ago when I found Juice Plus. In fact, the company didn't know that. But experts today are saying everything in our body is directly related to what's going on in the gut, in the intestinal tract. And what most people don't realize is that 85% of all our immune function is found in the intestinal tract, in that single cell layer. That's the mucosal outside between the inside and the outside, and the bloodstream, the circulation that's in close contact to that mucosal membrane. So that's where the heavy duty work is going on every day. And if we have a balance favoring the beneficial bacteria, what we know is that the beneficial bacteria are making a product called butyrate. Have y'all ever heard of butyric acid or butyrate? What is the number one benefit of producing butyrate? Anybody know that?
I might take a stab at it.
Yeah, take a stab.
Because Debbie Walton was at my house talking about that in one of our newest Juice Plus studies with our, I think it was with the trio, how that helped with the gut bacteria, of course, the balance. But then when they added the complete, there was more butyrate. Am I saying it right?
Butyrate, that's correct.
Yeah, there was more. And when you have a higher level of that, you tend to have a leaner body and a healthier gut bacteria balance.
Well, that's actually an offshoot of having the correct balance. When you have the correct balance, the bacteria are the ones that are actually producing the butyrate. But butyrate is a short chain fatty acid that literally its primary function is to protect the lining of the gut.
Okay.
And when we have the gut lining protected, when we have a balance favoring the beneficial bacteria, what we have is called symbiosis. And when we have symbiosis, we have a predominance of the beneficial bacteria. Our immune system is as healthy as it can be. When we don't have that, when we have a balance favoring the wrong bacteria, and that umbrella is called Firmicutes. It's just a name. You don't need to worry about it, but it's the non-beneficial bacteria. When that predominates, who knows the condition that causes?
Leaky gut.
Called leaky gut. It's also called dysbiosis or gut permeability. So when that happens, our gut is not intact, the lining is not intact, and the non-beneficial bacteria are primarily gram-negative, and they produce these endotoxins that are so inflammatory that they continue to cause the entire body to be inflammatory. And when that happens, and we look at what's going on in the immune system at this time, and what we find is that the immune system is just out of whack. It's out of bonkers. It's abnormal. It's so abnormal that these toxins and this inflammation is going all over the body. It's inflaming lots of different organs. One of those organs is thyroid. It's very, very critically affected by these non-beneficial bacteria, but so is the brain. So what we're finding is that when we have this bacterial balance favoring the wrong bacteria, then they're more susceptible to having inflammation and inflammatory changes. And these amyloid plaques that are found in the brain that are associated with Alzheimer's, these other changes that are found in the lining of the gut that lead to irritable bowel syndrome and other autoimmune issues, where the actual immune system that should be protecting you, when it's out of balance, it actually begins attacking your own cells. And that's what autoimmune really means. And all it takes to fix that is to change your diet, focus on plants, fiber and phytonutrients, focus on components that are feeding your beneficial bacteria so that you have that balance. And we really complicate all this. I'm really simplifying it. It's not this simplified, but I think you're getting the picture. Plant food can literally save your life. Plant food can reduce your risk for all chronic diseases. Let me restate that. Plant food, the more that we can consume and the more consistent, can literally reduce your risk of developing any and all chronic diseases, all of them. Cancer, stroke, heart disease, all of these things typically that kill us. We're in charge here, and all we have to do is make a decision and eat more plant food. And even if you're not willing to eat those 15, 16 servings that are recommended, add Juice Plus. As Angel would say, one simple change. Do what you can, and then let Juice Plus do some work for you. And if we can add the complete powder or our new Perform with so much plant protein, and if we can just eat fiber, fiber is your prebiotic. Fiber is what feeds your beneficial bacteria. That, along with phytonutrients, plant chemicals and compounds that are found only in plants. But the more of this that we can consume, the better our health. And if we don't, the worse your health. So it's not rocket science. I do have a son who literally is an astronomical physicist, but he loves teaching school. So that's really what he does. That's what he loves doing. But you don't have to have equations and formulas to understand this. I'm really trying to break this down. Plant food literally can make your body function the way that it's supposed to. And we have even studies where we're evaluating genes. Each of us have 23,000 genes, and they all reside on 46 chromosomes. And these genes can be turned on and turned off. We can't change them. We can't change our DNA. We can't change whether you're going to be bald at 77 or whether you have to go get a haircut every 2 weeks. We can't change our eye color. What we can change, though, is our lifestyle. And our lifestyle, we're finding, can cause these genes to be turned on and off like a light switch. And one of our studies showed over 400, almost 500 genes that were turned on. But more importantly, well over 1,100 genes, inflammatory genes, were turned off. So wouldn't you love to turn off the destructive genes in your body? You can do that by consuming more plant food every day, every day, every day. So I'm going to stop there. I think that's enough as a start. I'd love to, again, make this interactive. Would love to answer questions, or Angel or Brandy or Elizabeth, if you want me to talk about another area, I'll be happy to.
Well, I think we're right at 30 minutes. So in the interest of time, we'll begin wrapping up. But one thing I love, Dr. Odom, is that you referred to our research. And I love it that if you ask Siri, what is the widely most researched product internationally, Siri would say, well, Juice Plus, of course. And I love that because there is research and science to back up our product. And like Dr. Odom said, it is really hitting the easy button. And I love how we can take charge of our own health. We don't have to be a victim to our environment, to making unhealthy choices. We can make that choice. Someone else doesn't have to make it for us. So how cool is that? So I know you guys have a lot of questions. So we have a few minutes that Dr. Odom can entertain some questions.
If you have them, just unmute and ask.
Everybody's shy.
Yeah. Who has a question? I know somebody's got a question. Brandy, do you have a question?
I don't have a question, but what I do love is you had mentioned, and I use this word a lot, hitting the easy button.
Mhm.
Like, how can you just hit the easy button to help improve your health, support your immune system, help you to sleep better, have less foggy brain, like all of that, and so much more is just hitting that like one simple change. One thing is adding Juice Plus, and that's easy and it's affordable.
And
Yep.
not having to juice and get stuff all over the counter.
Oh my gosh, I had a juicer and I used it once a year. And every time I'm like, oh, I'm ready to juice again. I'd pull it out, I'd make the juice, it would make a huge mess, and I'd get a couple of mason jars of juice. And then I had all this pulp that I'm like, this is a waste of all this fiber and these nutrients that are in the pulp. So I finally had a yard sale before I moved to Mississippi. I kept pulling people. I'm like, do you need a juicer? Do you need a juicer? Do you need a juicer? I think I let it go for $20.
Oh, yeah. I like to tell people it's called Juice Plus because it's so much better than juicing. It's easy. You get more of a variety. And we deactivate the sugar. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of sugar, and we add some of the fiber back. And with juicing, you don't get any of the fiber and you get all the sugar. So it's just, to me, so much easier and healthier. And it's something I can do every day. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, if there are no questions, I have a comment. Elizabeth, that was outstanding, the way you conducted this call here tonight.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Nice job.
Thank you. And so, Angel, I'm going to let you wrap us up.
Okay, I'm happy to. Well, thank you guys for showing up, being on this call. And we always say, we like to give you 3 choices. 1, you want more information. We've got free resources, lots of great free resources. 2, you want to get started on Juice Plus right away. So we can help you. It takes about 5 minutes, super easy. And then 3, just reach out to the person who invited you. And then 3 is you are thinking of people who need this. You already have a list in your mind and you know they need it and you want to join the mission and be like us. Get on Zoom, let Dr. Odom share, and just be a blessing to other people. So let whoever invited you to this call, let them know your thoughts, your feelings, have a conversation about it, and let us help you. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you all for
Brady wants us
joining
to
us
make a heart.
tonight.
Make a heart and I'm gonna get your picture. Lindsay, can you do the heart? I just invited Lindsay tonight. She didn't know what she's getting into. Yay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
guys.
all for joining us.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lindsay,
Dr.
and
Odom. Thank
Lisa
you, Liz.
especially. Yeah,
Great
thank
to see
you.
everybody. Good night.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Odom.
Good
Thank
night.
you.